Oh, hello. It's so good to have you guys join us today. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being on. Thank you for listening to the information about Mary Kay. Who knows what your consultant had to give you to get you on here? I'll tell you, I have a story about that. But before we go into that, I'm going to let you know that I have a very deep in my heart to be in to honoring our veterans. I was raised in an Air Force family. I call myself an Air Force brat. We moved numerous times, like moved all the time, 28 times in 26 years. So to all of our veterans, if you want to comment, we appreciate you. If we have veterans on, love to see an emoji of those of you that are families of veterans, since we're celebrating Veterans Day today, because we know if the person's in, the family's in. With thank you for joining us tonight. And I am so excited to talk about one of my favorite things, and that's Mary Kay. I wanted to tell you a little story, though, for you being on already beats the battle. I actually went 2 years without hardly even talking to my sister because she wanted to talk to me about this Mary Kay gig. And I was like, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to do sales. You're pushy. I'm not. I just didn't want anything to do with what she had to tell me. So I just want to tell you, thank you if you're on here, because it took us a long time. Let me just give you on what changed my mind. We actually went, my husband and I at the time didn't have kids. This was 4 years ago. We did not, we went to Wichita Falls to spend the New Year's with them. And a friend of hers, or a coworker of hers, had bought $100 worth of product for his wife for Christmas. So she was going over to this new customer's house to show her how to use the product. Well, when we got there, you guys, she was not real enthusiastic about having us there. I felt very weird vibes. I didn't know what the problem was, but it was just unsettling to me. So I went in, sat down, watched Donna do the facial. And after the facial, she was sitting up in her chair. She was smiling. She was happy. I'm like, what in the world is going on right now? You know, I was raised with 4 sisters. I didn't realize women had insecurities about putting on makeup because I was number 4. They taught me how. I didn't, I just assumed everybody had that situation, knowing they didn't. But when we got to the car, I'm like, what just happened in there? The woman, another $100, you guys. And I thought, what happened in there? And she goes, that's what happens when you help a woman feel pretty. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll listen. And from that point on, I have been 100% sold on selling Mary Kay. Now, let me give you a little insight on the word sell, because you may be one of those people like I was that was like, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to do that. Well, let me just tell you, the word sell in Latin is selgi, and it means to serve. So as we talk about the freedoms, I just got chill bumps about that. The freedom that Mary Kay gives us tonight, I want you just to kind of relax about this. Of course, we're on video and nobody's going to push you into doing Mary Kay like I was afraid was going to happen with my sister. But what I want you to be thinking about is just listening to the things that we're talking about. We're just going to have a little flag side chat. Oop, flags on this side. Not a fireside chat, but a flag side chat tonight about the ins and outs of Mary Kay. And if it's for you, fabulous. We'd love to work with you. If it's not for you, then you can be a talent scout for us. Actually, check with your consultant. You can get some really sweet little bonuses for being a talent scout, finding people that may need a job, may want some extra Christmas cash, maybe want a free call, want to replace their job. Let me go through some of these things and let's just see if somebody hits your hot button, or if God lays somebody on your heart that maybe needs to hear about this. And if they want to do it, great. If they don't, that's fine too. We are just super jazzed about giving out the facts. So one of the things that I want to dispel is the freedom from fear of I don't want to be pushy, or I'm not the sales type, or that's not my kind of gig, or I'm not outgoing, or I don't look the part. Maybe that's how you feel. I actually thought I was too young to do Mary Kay at that time, because everybody I knew that was doing Mary Kay, my mom had used Mary Kay for years, and everybody I knew that was using Mary Kay was older, a lot older than me. And so I just prejudged that was not the kind of gig. Well, let me tell you, every type of woman is in Mary Kay. There is not anything that you won't find in Mary Kay. And we love that. Super diverse, very, very friendly to everybody. It's just a matter of, do you have work ethic? Do you have a desire? Do you have a need? So one of the things too that I want you to concentrate on just for a second, it might seem negative, but I want you to think back. In order for us to better your life, we want to fix the things that aren't going right. So think back on the thing that's frustrating. I want you to have freedom of frustration. Now, we can't take all frustration away from people. We know that. But what has frustrated the last day or the last week, or maybe something that took you almost to tears or caused you to, like, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. And that, I know exactly, I'm just like, oh, I'm getting hot under the collar. I guess that's what hot under the collar means. And so think about those things and see if we could possibly allow the Mary Kay opportunity in your life to help you without to avoid that. I was super concerned about when I started this business, because I had looked into another direct selling of a different kind of company. It's in the kitchen and it's plastic bowls. And I was told about a quota, and I was like, ooh, I don't know that I could do quotas because I don't want to be on somebody else's schedule. I got a pretty strong personality. And so I want you to know that we don't have a quota. And one of the things that's really important for you is that you know that it's our God first, family second, career third in this business. That's not hype. It's real stuff. And so what I want you to know about that is that if it's in, after I put these other things in place, if I don't have the ability to work that minute, that hour, that day, nobody else is scheduling me. So I just want you to be free of the thought of, oh my gosh, do they have quotas? Will somebody be calling me and want me to do 3 parties every day or every week or whatever? No, you get to pick your coworkers. I can't tell you how important, I can tell you probably, because if any of y'all work another job, there's a person or two that you're working with that not the person you pick to work with, probably. You pick the people you want to work with here. I can tell you that at every party a Mary Kay consultant goes to, we're looking around the crowd going, I want to do life with her. I want to do life with her. And oh my gosh, she'd be fun to travel with. Or maybe we hear somebody say, well, my husband lost his job last week. I mean, we're just keying into that. I want you to be keying into that too, and for us and help us be a talent scout. So one of the things I want to address is maybe the frustration is you have more month than you have money. And I'll tell you, with that Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas coming up, that is not a good frustration. So maybe that's the thing that's going to throw your heart over the bar with Mary Kay. I can tell you it was one of mine. I had more month than money. I was putting my husband through college when I started many, many moons ago. Now I have 5 college degrees that I paid for. Not one of them has my name on it. And I am super great with that because I have a Mary Kay degree, right? And so one of the things that I like is just to make an extra $100 or extra $500 a month. That really, truly closed the gap. And it allowed me to have a great credit rating that I needed to be able to do the life that I dreamed of having. We talked about making your own hours, your own schedule. I worked another job. I worked 2 other jobs, and I was able to put my Mary Kay into that limited time and still make money, where it actually was making me more money than my second job at the mall, where I was spending money on clothes, and then more money than my first job, where I was a legal secretary bookkeeper for a law firm. And so when I was able to do that, I think God put a little push on me because he actually blessed us with our first child. And so I thought, you know what? That was a life change I was not expecting. It was not planned. It wasn't prevented real well, obviously, but I needed to be a work-at-home mom. And so I can tell you guys that from that point on, Mary Kay completely fulfilled my dream of being able to be a work-at-home mom. I don't want to be 24/7 mom. Even when they were little, I wanted to be a quality time mom. So you've got motherhood, smother, and otherhood. I wanted the quality mom. I didn't want smotherhood. I didn't want otherhood, where I pick her up and somebody goes, well, she walked today. You're like, rah. I wanted to be there when she walked. So I love that allowed me to do that. I did not even have that on my radar when I started Mary Kay. It was just simply to make ends meet every month. That's all. All right. I've always had really expensive taste, like champagne taste on a beer budget. And basically I needed 3 jobs to make that happen. So I want to talk to you about the freedoms that Mary Kay is going to give you, not necessarily take away those frustrations, but the freedom to give you being part of a community, you guys. Oh my goodness. One of the things that we learned about being in our environment the last year or 2 is that community is so important. So I want you to know that when you join Mary Kay, you become part of a community that is a bunch of positive, super successful, like-minded women. You've got people to learn from. You got people to run with. You've got girlfriends in Mary Kay. You got people that are going to help you identify your God-given talents. And Mary Kay started this company with the idea of enriching the lives of women, enriching women's lives. So when this dream job and you go into it in this business with that attitude, how can I enrich this woman's life? It's not about you. The fear subsides a little bit. It doesn't all go away. Fear never all goes away. The devil's always going to work on us on that fear showing up. But what can you identify today about your life that needs to be a little bit enriched? What can you identify today? What would be something that you would want to, you can even comment on it. What would be something you would want to enrich your life with? In any form or fashion. It can be something material. It can be a quality. It doesn't have to be just, what would it be that you would enrich your life with? Just think about that. There might be some of y'all might come up with a huge long list of those things. And what I want you to know is that when you make this list and you draw that dream, you actually have the ability to make all that come true. I know that sounds kind of plastic. I don't want to be that person. I'm not that person by any means, but I just want you to know that we as leaders of your Mary Kay community, we can help you, we can assist you making that happen for your life. We can right into those dreams coming true. One of the things that I want you to be thinking about is what your desire in life. Where do you want to be? If I could just wiggle my nose, sorry, my jacket keeps catching on my desk. If I could just wiggle my nose and you'd be where you wanted to be a year from now or 5 years from now, what would that be? Where would that be? What would your life look like? And let's see how Mary Kay was somehow introduced to you at this point in time. Maybe that's the part of it, or maybe it's just somebody you know. Again, the Talent Scout. Let me tell you the other freedom Mary Kay gives you. I love this, you guys. Freedom of advancement. I had zero desire to be with this company for 40 years when I came in. I was just going to sell a few lipstick to make an extra $100 a month to make ends meet. But let me tell you, when God changed my plan and he blessed us with that first daughter, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a work-at-home mom and I'm going to make this thing work by being a director. And I'll tell you one of the things that really jazzed me about that is that I went to my first event and everybody had on the same outfit. And I'm like, okay, that works. Because you don't, I mean, it's just like a club. It's a community. It's a club. So I want you to think about that feeling. Now, one of the things I want you to think about too is, I came into Mary Kay, I wasn't thinking about being a leader, but once I saw the company and I saw that the cars were on the consultant leader level. Wow. As a consultant in Mary Kay, as a leader of a team, you can earn a car. Goodness. Then I saw that the nicer, bigger, better cars are at the director level. And of course, you know, you want more for your family, you want to make more money, get one of the nicer cars. But the fact that the company awards you a car for leading a team takes off, you guys, that we pay a small copay each month, depending on your driving record. Mine wasn't good at young, but now it's good. And then we literally drive this car for 2 years unless we earn a higher level. And then we go two more years, we earn another car. So we actually, our unit right now is in its qualification for the 20th car. Our 20th car in Mary Kay, 20 free cars, well over $800,000 or $900,000 in cars. I can't tell you, numbers don't matter to me. I'd probably call my husband and ask him. But one of the things that I want you to be thinking about on that is, could I use a free car? Could I use a car that's dependable, right? You get to decide how much money you want to make. It's not based on your consultant quitting to get her position. Everybody can have her position, or your director quitting. Thank goodness, everybody can have her position. So you actually advance on your own terms. And I really, really liked that. I liked being a part of girlfriend club community that had that big mindset and that positive mindset. One of the things that I love is our freedom of time management. I can tell you 400 stories or more in the 40 years that I've been doing this business where time management has become a massive factor of me being in Mary Kay and not having to ask somebody off or have to do something. You know, one of the things that hits my heart the most is that I got to spend 2 months with my father without having to ask anybody, can I have this time off, when he was in his hospice process, or getting into hospice and then hospice process. And that's something that you can't, I mean, I would have had to quit another job to do that. And I was able to work. I was able to squeeze time into the day for Mary Kay. In fact, let me tell you guys, not only did I squeeze time into the day, I made time for Mary Kay because it was my happy place, right? When you're dealing with the heavy stuff like that, maybe you've got something heavy going on in your life, Mary Kay becomes the happy place. Once you get into the skills part of this business and you know what you're doing, you're going to love the skills part. I mean, the flexibility. So the one factor, and I was talking to my husband earlier about this, he goes, well, be sure you talk about tax deductions, because that's what actually threw my heart over the bar. And my first question after I saw that facial was, what about tax benefits? Because you guys, I was putting my husband through school. I had 2 jobs and I had to pay taxes. I was 19, 20 years old. What? That is a broken system. And she's like, well, we have great tax benefits. So we're not going to be your accountant for you, but we're going to definitely, in your consultant training, you have a massive amount of paperwork information that is going to show you exactly what to keep receipts on. And whoa, happy about the deductions that you're already paying for that now become tax deductible because you own a business in your home. Okay. So I love that Mary Kay started out as a side gig and now it's a full-fledged business for me. I love that. But the tax benefits, every single time we sit down to do our taxes, we do it where we can see what Mary Kay and see what it is with, before Mary Kay, and then we put my Mary Kay in there. Man, does it make, it's an additional paycheck at the end of the year. I love it. I love it. Or when you do your taxes, whenever you do yours. One of the things that I want you to know too, having just come through this beautiful little season that we've been through, or might still be in, some of you might still be in, is the security of our business. Now, what's fun about that is when the economy gets tight, which appears as if you're listening to news that you're going to see that, or if you're going to the store, or if you're going out to eat, you're going to see that prices are higher than they were. And so what I love about that is, one, you got the ability to up your income, and 2, the 3 things that are sold and increase in sales in a tight economy, a recession economy, or a crazy situation like we just had, are liquor, tobacco, and cosmetics. We're not going to go without our lipstick. Now, what's great about that is that's job security for us. We're always going to be selling skincare. Even with a mask, people are going to be, we may not have sold as many lipsticks, but we're going to sell a lot more eye cream and skincare. So that is super job security for us. The other thing about it is your team becomes easier to build when the economy is tight, because everybody's going to need a little bit more money or wants to get on the bandwagon. So one of the things I'm really proud about too is that when Mary Kay, when the COVID situation hit, Mary Kay actually shut down one of our lines and started manufacturing hand sanitizer. We didn't have these before, but I'm going to tell you that just on a dime, they made it, which is the way this company works, is anything they can do, and donated over $1 million worth of hand sanitizers to healthcare workers. Now, I will tell you, I am super proud that that little generic hand sanitizer sits on all the medical offices in the area. I even went to one during the pandemic with my sister, and it was sitting on the entry table of the Veterans Hospital. I love that our company treats other people as good as they treat us. So let's talk about a few things that are basics to the business. Let's just chat a few minutes about how we're going to make some money, how you could make some money, how we make our money. So we actually have product sales. We have 3 ways that we make money in general: product sales, sharing the company with other people, and then our leadership position. So one of the things that I love about the product sales is that we gather a few girls. We can do 1, we can do 21. You can do virtual, you can do in person. I'm back to in person, loving the connection that we're getting from being in person. And so are our customers, by the way. Not everybody's back. That's good. If you choose to be virtual, that's great too. It's definitely a time saver, and it's super easy. But you're gonna have a 50% profit. Now let's just go off base a little bit here. If you got your products at half price, how much money could you save on your holiday purchases or gift giving? Oh my goodness, like half your budget that you already had planned or thought you had planned could be what it is now. So one of the things too that I want you to know is that when you're doing a party, you're actually establishing a relationship with a person that's going to wash that cleanser down her sink every night about 9:30, 10. So you can do a little happy dance when you're doing your cleanser, that all your customers are washing their cleanser down the sink and they're going to be coming back for it. Super great residual income in Mary Kay because the product is consumable. All right. It's not going to last It's not a bowl that lasts forever. And I really valued that when I started comparing other companies. I valued that a lot. The other thing is we're right for the times right now because people are wanting to get back together. And that makes for a perfect time to do a pampering session. The cool thing about this is you can offer them a pampering session of anti-aging skincare or natural skincare, or maybe how to improve your look and your color for the holidays. Give you more confidence when you walk into all those cousins that you're going to see or people that you haven't seen in a long time. So that's remember the word selgi means to serve. That's the service that you offer as a consultant. I love being able to help other women feel pretty or feel better about themselves, right? The thing that really jazzes me the most in this business is the ability to share this business with. I truly will tell you that I love the product. I love that we have the highest a product that money can buy. I love the product being the vehicle that gets me to the people. And when I can help someone else have an adjustment to their life, like Mary Kay has adjusted my life and my ability to dream and dream much bigger and travel the first year of the pandemic, we went to Mexico 4 times because nobody else was going and it was perfect timing and really cheap. So I love to travel. We've done I love my Mary Kay trips. We've done lots of Mary Kay trips, but I also have done many trips outside of Mary Kay that Mary Kay has paid for the family. But sharing this business with other people when they begin to build their business and build their team and have the ability to draw a second commission, you draw 50% off your product, and then a second commission coming directly from the company that allows you to, money never changes hands between recruits and I. Let's go back and refer to my darling sister. I love her dearly. And what I want you to know is that totally different personality than I am. And I couldn't see myself doing what she was doing. But when I watched her do the facial and asked her, can I put my personality into that party and do it my way? She was like, yeah, of course you can. That's when I was sold on doing this. And so that's what I want. That's what I want my people to do. I want you to take this basic training, you to be you, and you help assist your people coming into the company and build your team and earn your consultant car, or become a director and earn your director car if that's something you want. Now, let me make it real clear right here. We don't require recruiting. The other thing I want you to know is that some of my people have really small businesses. Some of them have very medium-sized businesses, and some of them have really large businesses. And that's perfect. Some of them even came in for something small, saw the opportunity, and then went big. And that's okay too. You've got the ability to change your mind. It can even go the other way if you want it to, just whatever life handles you or hands you. So the third realm of income that I want you to know, in addition to your sales, in addition to your personal team that you're sponsoring into the company, is our leadership program. And that's where you actually would become a sales director. You would be responsible for offering training to your team, to all of their people and their people's people and their people's people. And the thing that I love about that is that you then are able to help your entire unit and help those gals earn cars or whatever their goal is. First conversation with the consultant is, what do you want today? What do you want this business to look like for you? And then we set her up a plan to go that way. That's exactly what we would do with you. And so with and said, I just want to remind you that we don't have quotas. We're not going to pressure you to do anything. The way that you get started in Mary Kay is to buy a kit. You've got choices in that too. You got the freedom to choose whichever kit you want. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, your kit can be $130, which will give you all the supplies that you need to do actual in-person facials. It also gives you an eStart, which will be your website for a credit card processing. So you can have that for your parties. The other option you have is to do the $30 eStart. And so you guys, you actually can make a decision on Mary Kay for as little as $30. We will help you make that depending on what your level of activity be. One thing I want you to do too, one of the things that always gets asked or almost always gets asked is, do I have to have product? What do I do about product? Mary Kay allows you to buy product ahead of time. It's not mandatory, highly, highly encouraged, because we talked about frustration earlier. Frustration of not having on hand what this sweetheart wants from her facial and handing it to her can sometimes drop your sales in half. So we encourage you to have your little store, but Mary Kay has a guarantee on that too. You just cannot this business. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about the things I've said. We have what we call a pillow test in Mary Kay. If you're ready to sign up tonight, which a $30 decision, that is literally Starbucks if you take a friend, not really, but 4 friends, you got Starbucks. But really, it's a very simple decision. And I often relate a Mary Kay decision to, do you have a Costco or a Sam's membership? Because that's really what this is. It's just the ability to buy products in wholesale. The one thing we don't do with Costco is stock all their products in our little store and sell them to other people like we would here. But they also don't train you on how to help people look cute or feel better about themselves. So with that in mind, I want you to consider, is this something that I could maybe pick up for Christmas and get my products at half price and do a couple of parties and see what this looks like for me, and then maybe continue in January, or, make a new decision then. Whatever you want to do, this is a great opportunity for you to have that you've dreamed of, of the life that you desire. Because I know there's something we all want that we haven't attained yet, and what's held us back that I would ask myself. So I want you to take our little pink pillow test. If this is something you want to do, let your consultant know right now this is something you want to do. She can send you an e-link. You can be in Mary Kay. The other thing that's cool about that is you could actually set up your website within minutes, send that website link out to all your friends, and you'll probably have more orders tomorrow morning than you actually cost you to get into Mary Kay. But the other thing is, if you're not a quick decision maker, if you're one of those people that wants to think about it, wants to pray about it, wants to talk to their husband about it, or significant person in their life, then what I want you to think about is take our pillow test. And that is, if you think about it tonight, start making a list of the things that are questioning to you, or call your consultant, text, or whatever. If you're still thinking in the morning, it's probably something you need to try. And there's no obligation to this. Talk to your director, talk to her director. Let's get connected on answering your questions and figuring out what maybe is the path to all the freedoms that you want from your life, for your life. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this information about. I hope that I get to meet you face to face. This is something you want to do, and I hope that this blesses you. So thank you so much for giving us your time, and God bless our veterans.